If I can reschedule with you tomorrow, or if you can give me a call this evening, I am here at One Stop, and I will be here this evening. Okay. No, it's okay. You can bring them. I've never really been in this situation. I'm 47 years old. I'll be 48. I've always had my own home. My landlord lost her place. It was a foreclosure.
Prior to the recession, the clientele that we worked with were a lot of chronically homeless that had been homeless for a long time, or families who had gone from shelter to shelter. Maybe someone hadn't been able to get to work. Maybe someone had a substance abuse problem that they needed to deal with first. Now we see a lot of families and individuals that come in, and they're actually very apologetic for coming to ask for the services because it's the first time in their life they've ever had to ask for help.
This is my first time being homeless. My landlord lost her place in a foreclosure, and I had 2 weeks to move.
And I've been here looking for work in San Jose for a month, and I went all kind of places looking for work, and I'm
in process of looking for a 2-bedroom apartment right now for my children and I.
Homeowners have got a certain amount of time before they fall to a place to where they just don't have anywhere else to go. Usually when we lose our home, we're able to rent an apartment for a while, and if that falls through, then we're able to stay with family and friends until we sort of burn all those bridges, because people cannot take care of us forever. And so I think that fall from losing that house to getting to where you're homeless and you're showing up at a shelter takes some time, but we're beginning to see that now from people that started losing their homes a couple years ago.
And here, I'm on bed 11, and I get to make my bed. Just having places like this to go to eat, to take a shower, provide you clothes, socks, things for shower. Yeah, the recession has been a hard thing. It hasn't been a hard thing, and a lot of people have had to endure to get through it.
I think people are a little more humble now. There's less tension in the shelter itself, because you have to imagine you put 250 people in an area and a lot of different personalities and what have you. There's less tension now, and I think there's more of an attitude that people are grateful for what we are offering them.
And I would be lost without this place. And the shelter provides a shower and food, a safe place to sleep.
This last year, my staff was involved in housing 110 chronically homeless, meaning people that had been on the streets or living in encampments for more than a year and were living in shelters. And we housed 110, but the population of chronically homeless based on that time frame grew by 35%. So, I mean, we sort of have the finger in the dike kind of thing, but we're not really making an impact because the bottom line is more people are falling into the roles than we can meet. There's not enough funds out there. There's not enough services to cover that need. There's more seniors, and part of that's because the population's getting older. The other part is because so many people live on fixed incomes, and the recession hurt a lot of people in a lot of ways. Groceries cost more, things cost more, rents went up for a while. They're still fairly high, because what happens in a market like this is when you have more renters, then it's sort of the landlord's market, and they can raise that rent a little bit. Post-recession, I hope that people remember this, and I hope that the landlords that are now open to renting to our population remain that way. And a lot of this is by necessity. Landlords now in the communities, people are losing their jobs and not able to pay the rent. So now we have some landlords approaching us and saying, hey, do you have people on Section 8 that we could help now? Now before, they sort of steered away from Section 8 people, so now they're willing. And so what we have is people sort of starting to reach out to this population because it's hitting closer to home for a lot of people, and with the benefits that we can tie them to in a lot of cases, that sort of protects the landowner with their property as well. So I'd hope that after things get better, that they'd remember that they'd remember that they're sort of meat and potatoes when it got rough for the people that they may turn their back on when it gets a little easier for them to be more picky, so to speak. And I would hope that people don't forget the people that come to these shelters. A lot of times you think about the homeless, and if you ask people about homeless, they'll talk about bums and what have you. You know, I hope that people don't just judge the fact that you got in trouble, you lost your home, as sort of a way to misjudge you. So my hope is just for a better society.